So now you've got a bunch of casted bullets. They're not quite ready to be loaded like this. As they drop out of the mold, they're not the right size, first of all. I mean, they can be the right size. I've heard some people loading them exactly as is, having some decent luck. But to make sure that they are the right diameter that you want it to be when it gets loaded into your finished ammunition, you're gonna want to size them. And there is a sizing die that you use to get it from. Let me show you a couple of different examples. This is a 45 ACP truncated cone. And it's got a groove right there in the middle for lube, and I'll talk about that a little bit. And to size it, what you want it to look like for it ready to be loaded is something like this. This has been sized down. You might be able to tell that the rings on the above and below the grooves they appear to be a little bit shinier because the exterior surfaces have been sized down, so now it's smooth, and it's been lubed with a pan lube method. So this is a bullet ready to be loaded, but this is not. This needs to be sized and lubed. And the reason why you want to lube bullets is because these are lead bullets, and if you didn't lube them, you end up causing leading in your barrel, and that is not something you want. The rifling inside the barrel will shave off some of this lead as the hot gases start to melt the back of the bullet. So if you didn't have the lube, lubricating the barrel grooves, the leading will eventually build up enough for it to be dangerous and cause a potentially catastrophic failure. So it's important when you're shooting lead cast bullets that they're lubed. There's a couple different methods of lube. What you can buy, the easiest way to do it is what you want to do is buy a Lee bullet lubricating and sizing kit. Now I've got them for all three calibers that I cast and reload. This one is a 40 Smith & Wesson. Here's a 45 ACP, and this is the latest one I got, 44 Magnum. 44 Magnum being so expensive, I knew I had to start casting this. So what you get inside is you get this Lee Liquid A-Lox bullet lube. This stuff comes in really handy. It's really sticky. This is almost like a caramel color and texture. It's really sticky stuff. And then you get your sizing die, and you get this bullet pusher. So what you end up doing is you want to lube these bullets before they go into the die, just so that it gets pushed through a little bit easier, and it doesn't cause leading inside the die. That's important too. So what you do is you dump some bullets into a little pot like this, and then you just take your liquid A-Lox, squirt some over it, and just kind of get it all nice and covered. Alright, so once you got it covered, seat this into your press. Works better if it's a single stage press. Seat this into your press. It doesn't have to be adjusted really in any way. And then and put this in your ram. And then what you'll do is as it's in the ram, you're going to put the bullet on top of this this rod, and you're just going to ram this through the top. And the way that it'll work is you take the container that it comes in, you close that back up, and you sit this directly above your single stage press. And as you size each bullet, they eventually get pushed out the top, and then so you don't have to worry about catching the bullets as they come over the top. They'll just fall into this container. So once the process is over, you're going to end up with size bullets just sitting in here. You take it off, you open it up. If you're going to do what this is called tumble lube, you just put all your bullets back into this pot, put some more liquid A-LOX on it, switch it around, and get that lube nice and covered over the entire surface of the bullet. Specifically, you want them inside these grooves. Inside all those little grooves of the bullet. That is what's going to lube the barrel as it gets fire through it. So, let me go ahead and do a few to show you guys how it's done. Okay, so I got this set up here. Let me go ahead and put the liquid A-LOX into my 44 Magnum bullets. See if it's open in there. Actually, I got an open bottle. Every time you buy one of these bullet sizers, you get a bottle, or you can just buy them separately. Okay, as you can see, this is really gooey stuff. Let's see if I need to open it. It's probably dried up since last time I used it. Here we go. There you go. There's that consistency I was talking about. Okay, so just okay, so now that's nice and covered. And I've got this set up, as you can tell. I got the ramrod on the bottom. Just going to start pushing bullets through. Here we go. The bullet's not going to come out the top right away. It's going to take about 3 or 4 bullets before it starts coming out the top. But once it starts coming out, I'll show you what they look like in comparison to the unsized ones. You start seeing them come out. Here we go. Once it gets pushed through, it's not going to fall back down. The space is a lot smaller. The size bullet's still a hair bigger. Well, I mean, it's the same size, but it's not going to easily fall through the space that it had just been pushed through. Okay, so let me show you what a sized bullet looks like. Hope you can see that compared to an unsized bullet. I'm sizing these bullets at .429 diameter versus the supposedly 0.430 that it's dropping out of the mold at. And now with this bullet, you can throw it back in the lube for another tumble, lay it out in the on a sheet of parchment paper overnight, let it dry, and once it's dried, it will be ready for reloading. I'm going to finish up a few more of these so you can get an idea of how long it takes to do these bullets. It really doesn't take very long. Although casting your own bullets does take obviously more time than just buying them, but it's going to save a lot of money. 44 Magnum, around here we're talking about $30 to $35 for a box of 50. Even the 44 specials are pretty expensive. They're not much cheaper, if at all. So 44 Magnum is an ideal candidate round. Is an ideal round for a cast bullet. But one thing I would recommend is if you're going to shoot lead bullets out of a 44 Magnum, you want to lower your load capacity. In fact, you want to load them probably more like 44 Special, because what will happen is if you get past a certain velocity in your cast bullets, the gases get too hot, the friction causes too much heat for the lead to melt excessively, and you're going to get more leading. So keep an eye on your barrel as you're shooting cast bullets. You don't want leading to build up in your barrel there. Being that it's a 44 Magnum, out of my Smith & Wesson Model 29, you don't have to worry about shooting out of an octagonal or polygonal barrel rifling like you do in a Glock. But when I do reload cast bullets in my 45 ACP or 44 Smith & Wesson, I make sure that this one didn't drop out. That one needs to be thrown back into the smelting pot. If you're reloading bullets or ammunition using cast bullets for Glock, you got to be careful because polygonal rifling, it is not recommended to use lead bullets, non-jacketed bullets in a polygonal rifled barrel. And like I said, with the 44 Magnum, you are going to load it to 44 Special capacity. So they're going to be sort of light shooting rounds, plinking rounds, and it's going to be really pleasant to shoot, and it's going to be really cheap. Most of your cost for reloading is in the brass and in the bullet. Now, if you recycle your brass, or if you pick up your brass at the range for free, and on top of that you're casting your own bullets, these rounds are going to be very, very economical. You know, we're talking maybe couple cents a round for the powder that you're going to use, and then maybe another couple cents for the primer. And being that bullet and brass is essentially free, well, not free, you know, whatever the cost of the lead is, if you have to buy the lead, you're talking about reloading a round of 44 Magnum or 44 Special for, you know, less than 5 cents sometimes. Probably more like 5 to 10 cents a round. And to load 50 rounds of 44 Special, and it costs you only $5 to $10, and that's a really good deal. You also have to enjoy reloading. I personally enjoy reloading. Just making something out of my bare hands, especially bullet casting, is a really enjoyable thing for me, because you're literally making something out of scrap metal that people are throwing away. So I'm gonna keep going. I think this one's gonna be a bad round, maybe. Nope, that works. I'm gonna finish this up, and thank you guys for watching. And I hope you guys learned something from this series of casting bullets. And if you're going to try this yourself someday, just to make sure that you guys are wearing the right safety equipment so that nobody gets hurt. Thanks for watching.